as has been the case across businesses, there were disruptions in the hotel industry as well, right? Whether it was Airbnb or, the rent a bungalow kind of scenarios, is that something which is disrupting the market in big way, or do you believe that the pie is that big that everybody has a share to take?
I think they have all got their own space. I don't think we have been, and we've been saying this over many years because the question has always been asked, how is Airbnb, when it started to come up, how has it affected the hospitality business? Really, our pie has been growing constantly year on year. So we have not ever seen that taking business away from us. So I think it's increased the pie. So like, if I might take 5 or 6 vacations in a year, maybe 1 or 2 might be in an Airbnb. So that's a different kind of experience I'm looking for. When I'm traveling and staying in a hotel, it's a different experience. So I think they're fulfilling different needs for customers.
But as a consumer, tell me, we have seen the price of, room skyrocket. It's becoming unaffordable even in India to travel. Is that going to be the trend?
I think I would take a contrary opinion to you in this case. I believe that room rates are really quite not that high in India. I think that given the cost of land, the cost of operating a hotel in India, our room rates are still among the lower as compared to other major cities. I mean, if I give you an example, if you go to any major metro in the world, New York, Paris, London, you're going to pay $800 to $1,000 for a luxury property. Yeah. Very few properties in India are commanding an 80,000 rupee tariff, whereas the cost of building that property is virtually the same. This is the first time in India that our occupancy, and I'm talking India-wide, has recovered to around 70%. And before the occupancy recovered to 70%, we had taken an ADR increase. So that means this time our upliftment in RevPAR is being led by rate as opposed to being led by occupancy. And you're seeing the same in travel, in airlines. Yeah, if you see airline rates, and I don't think they're ever going to come back to what we were used to pre-COVID. This has become the new normal. And I expect that people will be looking to pay what we think is fair value for hotel rooms as well.
As a consumer, you never think it's a fair value, right? You always want it to be a discounted price or something less as well. But give me a bit more details. You talked about occupancy coming back to 70%. Is that the case across the industry as well? Yes. In terms of the, RevPAR, etc., average room rent, etc., how's that trending? How do you expect FY24 to pan out in terms of numbers?
So I think, as I mentioned, we've seen occupancies in India for the first time heading into the 7. I'm talking pan-India across all segments, right? Across 70% occupancy level. ADR has been ramping up. For us, we've seen about a 30% increase in ADR over 2019 levels in the first 2 quarters. Yes, we expect this rate increase to now slightly not be at that same rate of growth, but stabilize at this kind of rate level that we have. So I think that, as I said before, our recovery is going to be ADR-led. We are happy with slightly lower occupancies, but the RevPAR needs to be strong so that we have more bottom line and we are able to invest more in our properties and in the upkeep and maintenance, which had kind of suffered a little bit during COVID.